Salisu Kata, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Office and Domestic Support Services Agency. We are a recruitment agency, and I don't recruit for the high-end jobs. I don't recruit for doctors, engineers, lawyers, but I recruit for staff that makes these people very comfortable whilst they're at their jobs, because they know there is somebody at home who is looking after their kids, who is making their meals, and who is tending to their garden. I recruit for gardeners, I recruit for nannies, I recruit for childminders, I recruit for laundry and ironing men, and we've been in operation for 3 years, and the business is now looking at expanding because we've had so many good feedback from our clients, and we have very good success stories because we have created jobs for people who are not only uneducated and unskilled, but we've had a situation where we had a guy from IPAM who came to us and he was looking for a job, and we were able to connect him with one of our clients. He was doing his cooking. So at the end of the month, he had his paycheck, which he has used to further his education. So we are not only recruiting for people who are not trained or who are unskilled, but people who also, wanting to pursue their higher education. And based on the feedback that we've got from our customers, we've seen that there is a need for further training and better equipped staff that we send out to our clients. So I'm thinking of opening a training center where these people will be equipped and have the more skills that they will use to better perform these duties. And this, let's put it into perspective. If we were to have a child in Sierra Leone with disability, I bet that you will not be able to have somebody that will take care of that child, because our nannies are not skilled with all of this best practice and how to deal with kids with such disabilities. So my center is going to actually train these people on how to care for our young. And if you have ever given your laundry to somebody and you've not sorted it out properly and they messed up all your shirts, now we're going to have skilled laundrymen and ironing people who are going to iron your clothes and give you that spotless laundry that you've always been looking for. And our cleaners are no longer going to clean, but they're going to clean for disease control and prevention. So this is the kind of center that I'm looking at opening, and I need this opportunity so I'll be able to further enhance and get all the things that I need to start this center up. I am somebody that is very pushful, somebody that is very determined and to see others succeed. And we have a very good management team, of which I am one of them, and we're going to have a finance person, I'm going to get tutors, and we're going to turn out our courses in a way that we're going to get feedback from our customers and make sure we tailor these modules to better give a good attitude to this staff so they'll be able to perform these duties. So this is the kind of center that I'm looking forward to opening, and I look forward to having these grants, and my personal plow back into my business will also help to put everything together, because this idea is not only going to benefit the agency or us, but then it's going to also help the wider community in Sierra Leone, because we have a very high percentage of unskilled youth and of course women, because most of these jobs have been considered as a woman's job, but now we are going to ensure that they're going to get paid for it. So the government is going to benefit, these people are going to definitely be linked with the National Security Scheme, NASIT, and we are definitely going to pay our taxes, and the community is going to benefit from the skills that they're going to acquire from this center. So this is the kind of idea, and this is what we have and what we're looking forward to.
You said you've been in business for 3 years. My view is, how do you measure success? You said you've been successful. How do you measure success?
I measure success based on the feedback that I get and the number of people that we've found jobs for, because we've been in the market as a platform, as a link between the clients and the employers and the employees, because that's even my slogan, that we're connecting employers to employees. And we now have about 40 people working in various, who are now working, because we've had a turnover of people who've left, people who've, okay, I don't need the service anymore, but currently we have about 40 people deployed in different locations.
Who are your bigger competitors, and how do you get paid over your competitors?
Of course, my major competitors are the informal markets, I must say, because we have so many people running around that they look for work. I'm looking for a job, and I can cook, I can do laundry, and these people, of course, they don't have overheads, so they can charge you as little as 200,000 euros. But because I have to meet with the government statutory obligation of paying the minimum wage, so most people prefer to hire these people, my competitors, rather than hiring from me. So I think they're the people that I'm really competing with. And beating them is by getting them to join our agency, because we are giving them much more than what that person is going to give in terms of protection, in terms of enhancing their skills, and providing them with representation. So what we do is to discourage our clients or potential clients to hire from us, because there is security when you hire from us, and you cannot just hire somebody who might go and cause problem in your house. At least you have somebody to fall back on. So they are my competitors, and that's how I try to not beat them, but to get them to be part of us.
Basically, you say you want to open a training center.
Yes.
Which is more or less like a vocational school.
Yes.
And you intend to get experts to come and train them, right?
Yes.
You want to train drivers, you want to train cooks, you want to train maids. How do you want to get them? How do you want to get the people to come and train
the training?
Yes.
Okay, well, the training programs actually are going to be based on things that, for us, it's like the basic things, but they're actually not basic, because ethics, work ethics, has been a major problem. Because sometimes the feedback that we get, a staff might be able to do the job, they have the energy, they have all it takes to actually deliver. But just the way they carry themselves, just the way they present themselves, the attitude that they have. So this is what we're trying to bring in, people, we tailor, we sit and kind of get a clear-cut training program and manual that we're going
You
by.
still need some of this, or you still need specialists.
You still
training.
need specialists.
And from when I looked at your thing, you said you only talked about free teachers or tutors and diploma in education, so that's vague. Some of these jobs will actually, if I'm employing for a nanny or something, somebody can do CPR and somebody
Yes.
Yeah.
and so you need specialists. It's not just anybody I'm giving.
I have gone through, in terms of doing CPR and all that. I'm going to work with, because I already spoke with the Red Cross. They're definitely going to come in to do the training on first aid. That's where CPR and all of that comes in.
So is that free, or is that part of your list of expenses? It's part of I only saw 3 teacher or tutors, diploma in education or something on your list. I mean, when you're doing your figures. Because these are all the things we do, these are the costs to the business. So I'm only saying 3, I'm paying them 1 million every month, and it's 3 diploma in education, something like that. So it's vague for me. And for me, some of these will be specialists.
Yes.
You require specialists for it. And also, what's the concept like? Is it that you train them and they remain with you, or you train them and they leave?
What we're going to do is we're going to train these people, and if people want us to manage them, then they have to go through the agency as it is now. So we are going to kind of provide recommendation, and we give you the staff, and then we manage the staff for you, which means you pay to us, and then we pay the staff at the end of the month. But we want certification from the Ministry of Education, which means at the end of the training program, you're going to get a certificate. You're free to go and look for a job. That's why you're going to pay fees. So we don't have a hold on you. You pay your fees, you get a certificate, and then you can search for a job.
So in other words, the students will be required to pay certain fees?
Yes, they're going to pay fees.
So you have 40 in the agency. You said you have about 40 workers now.
Yes.
Over the past 3 years, how many workers have actually have you placed?
We have placed over 100 people, because some of these jobs also are short term. We have people who say, okay, because I also do cleaning aspects, wherein we come and do cleaning for offices as well. So, the turnover is like based on what the client wants at any given time. So that's how we have been having this turnover. And of course, the Ebola came, a lot of people were like, I don't need a staff. They traveled, so we had to lay off most of them.
So I'll come back to that, your question, because it's the same thing, like I said, about measuring the success. Because I would like to know, like if you do an analysis, because to say this is what, even with the turnover, you do an analysis. I mean, I think most businesses, or something in my business, I try to do an analysis of the trend of people.
Exactly.
So I would love, because you're already in the business, to see, because that's how you can calculate the demand for even this that you want to go into now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because basically I need to know, have you done that? Because the demand now for you need to have calculated your demand to know that these people are going to want to, like you said, 100, you will start off with 100 intakes. But did you calculate that to know that you're going to get that?
How do you know this is the set of people, this set of skills that's required at this point in time? How do you know this is what is required at this point in time? How do you know what it is the market wants? Then how do you train your people in accordance to what the market wants?
If everybody's got one story or the other, and most times the story is not different about, I have a problem with my domestic staff. Because the thing about recruiting for these positions is that we don't have a magic bullet, and even when you recruit for staff, you almost all the time have the same problems. But what we are doing now is that we are taking this burden or this pains of you having to go through all the process all over again. All you have to do is to contact us. So we obviously have a turnover. People will come and they say, okay, I don't need this staff. And the link with what we have done in terms of wanting to have a training center is that most of these people that we recruit for, they do not have the required skills. They actually have never been to any formal training program. So the feedback that we've got is that most of them could not perform in the ways in which our clients work.
Yeah, you have nannies, you have this. Which of those are your specific? This is what we talk about the research. So those areas, is it nannies that 80% people are asking and complaining about there? Is it those are the ones that you focus on. Instead of saying I'm going to be training on all of the 9 places that have drivers, cooks, and everything, the research should be. I know the web area, I know that they have a problem. 90% is having problems with nannies. 40% is having, so you focus on it. So that's what we want to know. Have you calculated that demand?
It's not data focused. It's just like a general, everyday, kind of research.
Yeah.
But I've not done like a proper data, giving out questionnaires and letting, people give me that exact feedback. So it's just a general, yeah.
Who are your customers now? Are they like more like business type customers, or are they more residential individual customers?
I have a couple of corporates, but then one institution can hire about 5 people. And then you have the individual domestic services, wherein people just hire nanny here, cook there, and things like that. So it's actually a mix, but I think I have more of the domestic.
For sure, when you have our culture, we know how to get our customer, but we don't know how to keep and grow our customer. You as a recruitment agency, how do you get your customers, keep them, and grow them?
Of course, this venture or this idea is one of the ways that I want to keep my customers, by providing more training for my staff, because I should have just been changing this staff all the time. Somebody says I want this staff and they did not perform, and we just sit back and say, okay, that's fine. But by me even thinking of having a center where people can be trained, it means I want to satisfy the customer. And once the customer is satisfied, the customer will stay.
I have an agency, recruitment agency, and then I have my own charges. I have to charge for them to be, for me to recruit my staff. They have to pay something, they have to pay something, maybe 5,000 units to register or to buy a form, whatever thing.
Well, to register with the agency?
Yeah, some, of course.
No, you don't
some
pay.
Are doing it, some are doing it. Because
No,
some agencies ask.
because
So
we
you buy a
know-
form, they understand, you buy a form to register with them. So you are not asking for them to buy a
No,
form.
you don't need to buy a form.
Okay.
But then you're going to buy a form if you want to register with a training center.
Okay.
But because you're looking for a job, we assume you don't have money, so we will not ask you to pay anything.
Assuming I'm one of your students, I got trained in one of these activities I have here, and I have my certificate at the end of the day. Okay, now the onus is on me to either remain with you while you send me out to other business agents, right, to work with them. What will stop me from leaving you entirely and going to set up my own?
Well, the free market. But we've been in the market and we have And I'm sure we have people who have confidence in us. So whether you start yours, I'll always make mine better.
The other thing that I was thinking about, which is slightly related, is when you place your people into a home or wherever, by definition, you put in a certain premium on top of what that person earns, right? So at some point, it seems to me that if I develop a good relationship, if I'm your client, and I develop a good enough relationship with the person that you've placed, then I can almost move to a more direct employment relationship with that person and cut you out.
Okay, we have contracts that these staff sign into, and even our clients. You're not supposed to engage any of our staff until after a year of engagement with us, and it's there, and you sign up to that. And even the staff as well sign up that you're not to leave us and work entirely for the client. And we also educate the clients to believe that it's safer and much more easier to work with us than to work with the person directly. Because if the person doesn't show up in the morning for a job or in your home, what you can do is actually contact us and we can send a replacement. So we give them all these reasons why they should, engage with us rather than on a one-on-one basis. And also the staff, we let them know that we provide representation for them. It's not just about going to work, but what if that person takes advantage over you? Because mind you, even when at the end of the month our clients delay to pay the payment, some people pay the 5th, the 10th of the month, but we ensure that all our staff get their pay at the end of the month, the 30th of every month, they get their salaries. So these are some of the good things that they gain by staying with us.
This side of it, which we probably have, you said, a high turnover. Not just your staff, as in not the ones that you on your books, but even with your tutors and things. Let's say staff, you're doing your course and training, and somebody leaves or just ups and leaves. What's your succession plan? What have you to mitigate those risks? It's both tutors and the staff. But I'm looking at the tutors now. You got, let's say you have 5 or something tutors, and one of them is a specialist training on something. What's your succession plan regarding that? Because that's a risk.
Yes, that's a risk. That's why what we do with this start, we're going to develop our training manual, which I think if you have the required skills, anybody will be able, if you have the skills to deliver. You're not going to own the material. The material belongs to the agent, to the center. So it's like whoever comes in will be able to just catch up or take over from where we left off.